I'm Pern.
And I'm Dave.
Welcome to the show, where we talk about everything from movies, music, sports, and TV.
And stories from the rest of our lives.
Things we don't talk about are politics and religion.
And this is how we all stay friends.
Okay, let's talk. Tuesday is our record day. Busy day. For
We're
me.
ready.
Oh my
Surprises
gosh!
galore,
And
too.
I got up today. I had to cut the grass, and then we had to take the dogs to the vet for their annual checkup appointment and shots, and that, and then get home, and then this and that, and like I was crashing at dinner. I was
really?
just like. I looked at my wife and I'm just like, I'm crashing so hard right now.
Uh-oh.
And like we ordered pizza for dinner because we were like, just order
It's
something.
just not a cook night.
Yeah, it's a not a cook night because it was, because then we got the podcast.
Right.
And finally it all came around and got, but it was just one of those busy days. And
So I'm working on your
going.
second or third wind.
this probably is third by now. So because like you show up and then all of a sudden I'm like, I'm back in the mood. I'm
Here we
ready to go.
Ready.
Let's
yeah,
do this.
Fired up. And
Let's
then,
do
and then I
this.
walk out of here
It's like
and you
we've
just
never
drag ass upstairs. Is that how?
No, I'm still usually up for the night.
Oh,
I'm riding that fifth wave by that
is
point,
that
and
it?
it's just like, okay, and then 4:00 in the morning I go to bed.
Then it's time. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I
but
get
the
that.
dogs did great at the vet, which is crazy
Good.
because it's the first time I've gone. My wife and I both went, and we have two dogs, and she had one on leash, I had the other, and like one Reese, she's usually very pissy bitchy. She's the alpha and like always about her, and she's a small Chihuahua. But she was totally cool and was awesome. So, my wife and I both agree, like, yeah, every time we go to the vet now, we're both going because, the dogs are like, oh, yeah, my mom and dad are here. Okay. We're, like they were more settled in.
Right.
Reese's also a little more mature than, the last time she went to the vet because it's been long overdue. And
It does happen.
So, yeah. So you were telling me that there was some sort of dog.
We have the new dog.
We're going to go briefly on the dog. Yes. So we know about Nala, Indiana,
Linden and Fillmore.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Getting your dogs down.
So they
Right.
were all, they're all having their thing. So they're actually doing a lot better together now.
Cool.
And we don't
It's
have to
been
worry
2
about
weeks?
keeping them too separated. So yeah, and he's definitely on, and we have a lot less goober issues where he's not drooling
The
everywhere. And we keep him out of the kitchen so he doesn't get on the counters and everything.
Nice.
But here we go. He has figured out the trash can. And this is where the mystery is.
Okay.
What happened was that I was outside.
Do you need
Lisa
to put up
was-
a nanny cam?
I know what happened.
Okay.
Lisa and I were both outside doing yard work, and I thought, oh, okay, well, this is the first time that we've left them out alone together. So we decided that I was going to go check on them. So I walk in to check on them. There was trash strewn everywhere in the kitchen.
Oh,
the
my
trash
gosh.
can was on its side, wide open, and the trash was just everywhere, and everything was licked clean. Like,
Wow.
like you just kind of throw something in. You can wash it off, but then throw it away, or
But
you're just
throwing it
dumping
out, so
something.
just
a
throw it in
piece
the
of-
trash and
Nothing had any food particles on it. So, and every bit of plastic that
So they had
happened
a
to
whole
not be
meal.
recyclable. Yeah. And nothing that was recyclable was, we recycle, but the 5s and 6s sometimes don't, we can't recycle them. So they go into the trash, but they were, food particles, things like that. Nothing. Everything was chewed up, but nothing had food on it. Like everything was
just
clean.
licked clean.
And that was weird because we were like, okay, well, we didn't really think we threw much away, but then, okay, we get in there cleaning it all up. And the mystery of what happened was the next day, this is so weird. The next day, Nala got sick and she has stomach issues anyway.
Was it the orange chicken? Leftover orange chicken from the
This is so
Chinese
weird.
food?
Half a burrito.
What?
Almost practically not digested at all.
Ew.
Came up. And I was like,
Ugh.
what the hell? And it was like the whole flour tortilla and everything around it. And I was like, wait a minute. Does her stomach digest anything? Because I was just floored.
Yeah, because it just
and I was just like,
goes
what
straight
does she
through.
do? Yes. And I was just like amazed that came back up. And even overnight, like, because it happened the day before or,
Right.
that afternoon. And I was just amazed that that's what happened. But that was our mystery. So we can't really figure it out. And I was asking
So wait,
everyone.
you don't know which dog ate the burrito? Or
I know it
didn't
was
eat the
Nala
burrito?
because it came out
Okay.
of Nala.
Okay.
But most of the mystery is where did it come from? Because none of us figured that we left half a burrito in the trash. But then how did it get past Hoover over there, Lyndon just chewing away every piece of
At
plastic
everything.
that a half a burrito got past,
Yeah.
unless Nala's, basically queened it and said, "Hey, get out of my way. That half burrito is mine," and horked it all down in one
you
bite.
need to get one of those little tiny spy cameras that you can like
to.
watch from your phone.
So now the trash
can
can
be sitting
is
in your
outside.
office and you can watch, in the
Yes.
kitchen and see who's
just on my phone, any kind of movement. But now the trash can's outside until we can get one that actually locks.
Oh, so
which there is one. They make them, and you just kind of turn the lock on it so that it's not, it won't become a thing until he can figure out how to turn the lock himself.
Well, yeah,
and figure it out. He's
with
not
no opposable
exactly
thumbs, I think they'll
stupid
be
as we made him out to be, because he's very clumsy, but that does not equate to being
he just
dumb.
knocks the trash can
He's
over.
kind of
if I knock
insane.
it over, the top will
The whole
fall off
thing
and I
will
can
fall
eat
off.
everything.
I can just get through
you
it
can
all.
just get right in there.
Yes, or I'll just come in from the bottom.
I joked with my kids about getting one of those little mini cameras for my kitchen.
Yes.
Because I do have my little stash of like candy and stuff that's like, that they know is my stash. And one of the things that I love are the Hershey's Nuggets with almonds. And I know you're not an almond person.
No.
But I love the Hershey little nugget candies with almonds.
Okay.
And we get like the little bag of them and I keep them up on my shelf because that's my little, when I want a piece of candy, that's, there. And I guess it was sometime several weeks ago. I was like, I don't remember eating that many of them.
Oh,
some of these seem to be disappearing. And so I told my daughter, I said, have you been eating those? She goes, no, I haven't. I'm like, really? And she's like, no. And I said, maybe we should get like a little camera in here for the kitchen and see like who's eating what. And she goes, no, we don't need that. We don't, no.
No,
we don't need that. No, I don't think that's necessary, Dad. And I was like, okay.
Not telling, but maybe.
But it was just her reaction was so quick to that. No, that's not
funny.
necessary.
No,
we don't need that. We don't. No, you don't need to put that in the kitchen, Dad. No, not at all. No. That's funny.
That is pretty good.
Gotcha. So the mystery, trying to find out how half a burrito got
into
eaten
Nala
by a dog
for the first time, but then where it came from, because none of us actually addressed the fact that we actually had a burrito and threw half of it away, because
crazy.
Our burritos, they don't go. They don't get half eaten and then thrown away.
Right, your burritos are good.
They're gone.
He brought
and
some
it was
over.
one of those too.
Yeah,
he brought one.
Dave made some and he made a batch of them and he brought over like 2 of them and I reheated them and I let both of my kids try it and my youngest son, his response was, "That's delicious."
Yes,
and I'm like, I know they're good.
I gotta make more. They'll come.
So yeah, those don't get wasted anywhere.
Yeah, we'll go ahead.
My
yeah,
house
exactly.
or your
they get
house.
done. They get finished, right? Unless Yeah. So I don't know what happened there. So that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Unless she just produces burritos. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So weird.
So we're going to move it along tonight because we have a special guest coming up later more towards the second half of the show. But we got to get through our stuff first to get our guest in. It's going to be our first time having a live guest. Well, any guest, not just a live guest. Let's see if this
becomes a regular thing, because then we can start inviting people through. And
maybe if we can get this to work out tonight, we'll get there.
It'll be almost.
So we're going to go straight. Oh, so no, I was going to go back to my thing. So this past weekend we went to 2 car shows.
Wow.
It was quite interesting because, we're out here, like I said, we're outside of DC, further out into past the suburbs, almost into the woods. And one of them was a really official organized car show. They 60 different cars and all this stuff and all different makes and models and old cars and stuff. And it was from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay.
I don't go to bed till 4 or 5 in the morning. So I was like, okay, well, we'll go. And we got there at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And the car show goes till 2.
Okay.
So we're thinking,
okay,
we're not right at the tail end at 2 o'clock, walking in to see cars or something. We got there an hour before that.
Right.
But when we got there were only 16 to 18 cars left. And there's cars pulling out and leaving as we're pulling in. And it wasn't just us. There's other people showing up late to see this also.
They got
because it's it's a car show and it's this official thing.
Yeah.
The one car that I was actually very happy that I got to see and had no clue it was there was this old, I think it was a 67 Porsche 911.
Oh, wow.
And it was in fantastic shape. And I was just like, oh, and even my son London, he was just oh, Dad, the Porsche. And I'm like, I see it. We're going to look at the Porsche. This old Porsche. And they had the back open so we could see the engine. And it had the original cool stickers in there, which, tell the size and, the engine type and all that. It was just that's so cool from Porsche. And so we got to see this old Porsche and they had, my son's favorite was they had this old Dodge Charger.
Oh.
And I mean, like those old 70s Dodge Chargers and stuff, like those things were monsters.
Oh my gosh,
like
yes.
just big hunks of metal. I mean, they like bigger than a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
So that was my oldest son. His favorite was, seeing the Dodge Charger.
Nice.
But it was cool. So we got the cars that were still left, the 16 out of 60 that were still there. We walked around and looked at all of them and everything. And yeah, it was really cool to see all these old cars and walk around, and see them. And there was one that like has, of course, there's always one of these cars at a car show that has like the flames on it.
Oh yeah.
And it was like an old Buick or something like that. And it had like, and my wife's like, she goes, "Oh, there's the car with the flames. There's the car with the flames on it."
Yes.
There's always old car with the flame. They put flames on their car. We got to walk around and see some old cars, which is cool. We saw a 1909 Ford Model A, I want to say, or something like that. I mean, it was like, it had like the big wheels and like, looks like the bicycle fenders over
Crank
the wheels.
on the front,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Crank on the front. He was starting it up too. And he was like cranking it. And it was just like getting it going. Though. So we got to see that because they were getting ready to leave also.
Okay.
So we got to see some
everybody's leaving. Just the tail end lights of everybody.
Right
leaving.
at the very tail end of this car show.
Wow.
Well, then there was another.
But still, I mean, good Lord.
So on the other side of town, there was a more unofficial car show that was from noon to 4.
Oh, okay. Was everybody from that one going to that one?
No, they weren't.
Totally different.
Yeah. So we go over to the second one because like, well, because we figured it would be a good crossover if we're there by the other one by 1. But like 2 o'clock, I mean, by 1 o'clock, it was already like a ghost town almost. And I was like, well, if you're going to say you're going to have a car show till 2 o'clock, make people stay till 2 o'clock.
Exactly.
Because even when we were walking out and we were there for like 30, 40 minutes, there were still people showing up before 2 to see cars that weren't there because everybody had like already
left.
Yeah, leaving and
so
gone.
weird.
I'm like, well, stay to the end credits.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Yeah, there we go.
Right?
Yes.
Listen to the symphony play.
It's a theme.
Stay to the end credits. So then we go over to the other car show on the other side of town. And I mean, it's just people that have like modded their like Honda Civics.
Okay.
And things like that. And
Right.
it's just like, oh, okay. And I mean, there were, a couple, trucks there. And then we like walk up and we're like, oh, there's a Cybertruck.
Oh,
So
you
and
got to see inside.
He had all the doors open, the
Nice.
back open, all of it. Like, so you could like walk right up to it and, look inside of it. It is the most basic bitch truck I have ever seen in my life. Like there's literally like a monitor in the center. Like there's no, like all of your speed and all that stuff like that is on like a TV looks like an oversized iPad on the dash. And that's it. And then like you've got the pedals, the steering wheel. I was surprised it had seatbelts in it. It was so basic and just blah looking, just like the outside. The inside matches it to a T. I walked around the back to see like, the payload area or whatever. Not the payload, whatever, what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The back of it. And it was just like, there's not enough room to put really shit in here. Like, what is like, I'm like, I cannot believe these people have spent $130,000 on a Cybertruck. Mine still blown. I've now seen one. I mean, I've seen them up close in traffic, and now I've like literally walked around one and like been able to see inside of it and all that. And I just do not get it.
On that note, Lisa saw one pulling a trailer, and supposedly they're sold with a trailer that's a solar panel pack or something or other, and it's supposed to charge. I guess it's supposed to charge
while it's
like
driving.
I don't see.
Or
that's
you mean
the thing.
at home?
When you get home and you plug it in, or if you're going somewhere, like let's say you're going camping, I guess.
Oh, right,
because
you're going to need power for
when you get back home, I guess. Yeah. So I think that's associated with that, but I don't think it's while it's moving. I don't think the panels are open or out when it's moving.
Weird.
But I could almost imagine how expensive that little endeavor is
just
to have the trailer
extra,
for the truck.
Have the trailer on it. Hard pass. Again,
a little too much right
just
now.
like cereal straws, hard pass.
Cereal straw. Oh my gosh.
Hard pass on the cereal straws.
She almost gagged when she was listening to that on the podcast.
Last week's, the cereal straws.
Cereal straws.
That's too funny. So right next to where the second car show was is our favorite ice cream place in the Winchester, Stevens City area.
Okay.
And it's called Newtown Creamery. Shout out to Newtown Creamery.
Newtown Creamery.
We love Newtown Creamery. I love their ice cream. It's just soft, and it's soft serve, and it's just so good. And I just love the taste of it, the flavor of it. It's like they've been there for years. I mean, we've been out here for a little over 6 years, and we've gone there, every summer when they're open and all that. But there's another ice cream place in town called Pax, and it's like it's almost like a food truck it's a small, like, but it's, where Newtown Creamery is like a building, and
right,
and they have like, their
brick and mortar.
and they have like outside seating, and they have, you walk up, order your stuff. They have a kitchen area to make food. They do, burgers and hot dogs and fries and stuff. So PAX is, just ice cream, milkshakes, that stuff. So it's a small little, and it's almost like a food truck kind of thing, but it's also soft serve. So my kids, I've asked them, I was like, well, which do you like better? Do you like Newtown Creamery or do you like PAX? Ooh. And they're like, it tastes the same. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
No, it couldn't. You mean soft serve as opposed to actual creamed ice cream?
So they're both soft serve ice creams, but the Newtown Creamery, in my opinion, hands down, a million times better. Sorry, PAX. We had PAX earlier in the week because now where my wife's new work is, she has a PAX like literally like it's the parking lot over from her thing. So after we went over and saw, the locations past week, I took the kids and like, oh, let's get some ice cream. We all got small ice cream and everything. And then I knew we were going to do over the weekend, go to the car show. So we were going to get Newtown Creamery. So I wanted it fresh in my mind. So like, taste test.
Yeah, here we go. There he goes. Yes, exactly.
and yeah, again, hands down, Newtown Creamery. Wow. I like it so much. And they even looked at the kids and I'm like, so which one's better? And they're like, they're the same, Dad. And I'm like, they're so not the same. Well, oh my gosh, so not the same. So anyway, Newtown Creamery, if you're ever out in Stephen City, Virginia, stop in there. It's the little blue building, and they play like all oldies, and it's like being like at a Silver Diner Cafe with all the oldies music they play and stuff like that outside.
Throwback,
and
basically.
So it's very cool.
Cool.
So I highly recommend it. So there, yes, it's the ongoing feud in my family over which ice cream is better and which ones don't taste the same and which ones, because don't even get me started on Dairy Queen, because Dairy Queen, that's just like white plastic, frozen,
you got that. Well, that's
plastic.
Kind of the McDonald's too, right?
I actually like McDonald's ice cream cones.
I
like their ice cream.
Than Dairy Queen?
I like them more than Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen to me is just like white frozen plastic. Really? Like there's no taste to it. It's just
the
cold.
McDonald's one is this. I would love to do a blind taste test.
Oh,
I would love to have you sit here with a blind taste test, and I have the Dairy Queen and then the McDonald's right next to each other.
We'll do that
and get you. I'm pretty sure
we're doing it. We're doing that because I can, I can. Oh, because we also had to do the ginger ale one from like earlier in the season when we talked about the difference between Seagram's and Canada Dry, and I'm like, I can tell you the difference between the two.
That's amazing. Your taste buds. Maybe that's why it's freaking you out about your kids not having different flavor,
right? And not being able to like taste the difference between these ice creams.
The nuances of your flavor, like taste buds are just so unique.
Yeah. So it's box office this weekend. We're going to movies. Box office numbers. The number one movie, which really wasn't a shocker, but it was a shocker how well it did.
Yes. I mean, God, for it to be a sequel to the same thing, right?
To a movie 25 years ago.
Yes.
And it was for Twisters.
And they really are doing like every show. Like I saw them on like almost every show imaginable doing.
Like Entertainment Tonight. I mean, there's like promo everywhere on
shows.
Twisters.
They did the Today Show. I mean, I saw their faces all over the place, but what's the number?
It wasn't at 80 million.
80.5 mil. Yeah. That is crazy.
That for now? Woke Hollywood for this year, they're complaining about nobody showing up to the box office until Inside Out 2 and Despicable Me 4 opened.
Yeah, did crazy.
Yeah, like so the fact that Twisters did 80 million, I think they've started getting people back into the theaters. And it's like, oh, right, let's go to the movies and summer popcorn movie with Twisters. And I actually have a coworker who went and saw it the other night, and she's like, it was actually good. She goes, I'm going to go see it again. And I'm like, really?
You're going to go see it again?
Like in the theaters? And she goes, yeah, I want to see it in the 4K. And I'm like,
oh, wow.
Really?
That's interesting.
I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, all right. So one of my coworkers like really enjoyed it.
That's good.
Again, I'll wait for it to come on a streaming platform that I'm already paying for.
So that next one was Despicable Me 4, which dropped crazy, and it's only at 23.8.
Yeah.
That kind of was a big drop from their opening. And then Inside Out 2 still holding on strong to the third spot.
Yeah.
But if we go down the list, it's all the same ones. You got Long Legs, which is that horror one
with Nick Cage.
Yeah, is that Nick Cage?
They say that it's actually like pretty good.
So too. too. I thought that's what I heard also.
Yeah, I'm actually
11/7. So that's it's doing
and that was in its second week of release because
it came out last, and it actually did really well. Last week. And then you got the Quiet Place Taiwan. That's at 6. You got Fly Me to the Moon, which is 3.4, which really dropped off.
Bombed. It didn't even have a good first week.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like third or fourth in its first week.
Yeah, it was not.
And so it kind of fell away.
Yeah.
You got, we didn't contribute to this, but Bad Boys is 2.7. That's there.
Which is
something called Bad News. I'd never heard of this one, but it's 1.1. You got Maxine again, and then the Bike Riders at 700. But the
and Horizon ended up where?
Totally gone, like off the list.
No, it was like 12th or something like that.
But it wasn't in the top 10. I only grabbed the top 10.
It's now total gross is something like 26 million or something.
Yeah,
that's
bad. Yeah, wow,
bad. Sorry, Kevin.
Sorry. I know.
I'll give it a chance when it comes on streaming.
Oh, I would love to see what we're talking about here.
Right, I want to see how bad it is. But
it may not be bad. It may just not be enough to be a movie. You know what I mean? It's like it would have been okay if it was a series. If it was a series,
again,
right?
yes. If they had broken it into an hour, 45 minute
show was almost exactly what he did, except this would have been later.
Yeah,
right,
maybe they should have done that with it. Maybe they'll do that with the rest of it because part 2 still we have no idea if it's going to come out.
Yeah, they could break it up.
Maybe we need to stop talking about Horizon. Because I think
are we going to?
We're retiring
to push it, or is that the last time?
I think we should retire mentioning it
off the
until
list,
we actually see it on a streaming platform, which could still be a couple months from now.
I would agree with that, but yes, let's do that.
It was like the whole AI thing. We retired AI because we were tired of talking about AI. So I think we need to stop talking about Horizon.
That's okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we'll then file that one away till when it actually shows up.
So then going to AI.
Oh, I thought we were. Wait, I got one more.
One more in the box
Deadpool
office.
Wolverine comes out. Do you want to guess what the estimate is on this one?
Oh, I'm going to say it's going to do 130.
They say 360.
On opening weekend?
They are saying 360. And
that's unheard of.
I know, and that's what they're saying. And that is on pre-sales, though. Like they're also estimating pre-sales.
So, because there's a lot of people that have already bought pre-sale tickets.
Yes, exactly.
So, I don't know.
360. That's a big number, right?
That would be like box office shattering.
That's kind of crazy. And I know that you've got.
I mean, it's
Ryan
no
Reynolds
Spider-Man. I mean, come on,
Logan, and you got Hugh Grant or Hugh.
Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Grant. That'd be great seeing Hugh Grant as Wolverine. That would be hysterical.
He didn't like being an Oompa Loompa. Do you really think he wants to be
didn't want to be an
Wolverine?
Oompa Loompa and Wonka. And he did great at that. That was funny.
He did good, but he badmouthed that role.
He did. He's like,
I don't know why. It was perfect.
I'll cash the paycheck, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. But they 360. I was like, that's a tall number to try to hit.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, something. And the weird thing is if they do like 180, like you said, and they don't get 360, they're going to get poo-pooed.
Right, they'll be disappointed.
They'll be disappointed.
It wasn't as the opening we were expecting for.
Yeah, because they're saying that this is going to bring back Marvel, and I was just like, really, not really, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's barely a Marvel movie because it's Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool.
Well, they are tying in the TVA to this one.
Right. Yeah, you mentioned that before.
Sure.
So,
you don't even know what I'm talking about.
I watched season 1 of Loki. I never watched season 2.
Season 2 is pretty good.
I'll go back and watch it. I mean, I enjoyed. Yeah. Anyway,
it does tie it all together.
So going back to the AI thing.
Yes.
So
AI.
Big
I thought
Brother.
we were putting this on reserve.
No, because it's part of it was part of Big Brother. So Big Brother started this past week, and Dave watched the first 17 minutes of the first episode.
To say that's about how far I got.
He guaranteed me 3 weeks. That's 3 episodes a week. He guaranteed me. So 9 episodes.
I tried.
He made it really 17 minutes into the first episode.
That was like,
oh, this is just so much below me.
No, it was.
I just can't. And then he fell asleep.
I just lost
He had it on his phone. He's laying down in his bed with his phone and he falls asleep. And I'm like, well,
yeah, but
you got to
but
pay some sort of attention.
Okay, that's great. But if it held my attention, I'd have been awake. Like it was just kind of boring, like just watching people walk around a house. It was just
they don't walk around a house for the whole time.
It was for that time that I was watching.
The first 8 people moving out. There's 16 house guests this season.
I saw probably half the introductions where they showed the people.
So he saw like the first
4. I saw the last.
You said you saw
4.
the first 8.
Yeah, I saw the first 8
because he didn't get to night 2. It was a 2-night premiere, and he hasn't even watched the second night to see the second 8 people that have gotten into the house.
Get that far.
So because he got to the point where they get the first 8 people in the house, and then they take them out into the backyard, and then they have to vote
They were
to let
voting for a
another
new
house
one.
guest into the house.
Yeah.
But then the secret is that house guest is an AI,
An actual AI
bot
person.
and not a real human being.
Right.
So the people that voted yes, and they split the vote 4-4, and it had to be unanimous.
The
It had
first
to be,
8.
it had to be at least 5-3. So they split it 4-4 to not vote her in. And then the people then had to go do a competition. So if they voted yes to vote her in, they voted to get a secret bonus thing to help their game, to up their game, like a bonus power.
Right. If they got through.
And if they voted no, then they had to go in to basically be not put on the shit list, like, and not for up for eviction, but they had to be, they have to be the mascots of the week, and they have to wear stupid outfits and stuff like that in the house, and they have to be cheerleaders and cheer everybody on, but they're not allowed to compete.
I got through part of that, but then I just fell apart after that. I was just like,
he fell asleep.
I just held no interest in
he's still we're
I
going to
will
be
try
talking
again.
about this
I
because
will
you
try
got to
again.
see some of these people.
I know. I
called
gave you
it
3 weeks.
I
I will give you 3 full weeks.
So my wife,
this didn't even. I'm 17 minutes into 3 weeks. How's that?
17 minutes into 3 weeks. Yeah,
3 weeks.
He's got some work to do.
3 weeks of
watching
episodes.
the first episodes. From the first episode, there was one woman who immediately I was like, she's going first week. She's the person getting evicted.
They're gonna
first
kick
week.
her
And
out.
I told that to my daughter because my wife and my daughter are watching too. And I told my daughter, I said, Lisa, she's the one that's going to
Really?
get evicted. Like she's like a frou-frou personal chef or something.
Was that the first
or
one or the
celebrity
second
chef.
set? First set or second set?
I don't remember if she was in the first set or the second set. I
thought
remember.
the older woman in the first set was going to be
Angela.
the first one to go. Yes.
So, but Angelo ends up winning HOH, head of household.
Oh, so
she
she's
can't
not gonna get
But
kicked
she was.
off.
I figured her and Lisa would be the first 2 up for eviction.
Were those 2 hanging out together?
No, but I just the personalities on this show. I've watched it since season 1.
You just know.
When you see that type of overbearing personality right off the gun, where they come and playing too hard, too fast, too loud, it's just it's a nail in the coffin. You're going to be up for eviction to get kicked out first. You have to lay low the first couple weeks
and just bide your time.
Just talk to people, get to know people. Just but don't freaking go in there and trying to raise the roof or something. And so Angela, is a 50-year-old mother of 3 and has like a grandchild too. It's something like that. And she's in there, and it's just her personality is bigger than the house. And I told my wife and kids at dinner, I was like, honestly, if my mom was still alive, my mom was a Big Brother fan too. If my mom was still alive, that would be how my mom would be acting if she went in the house.
Because it would just be so on her own self.
She would be so excited to be in the house. She wouldn't be able to control herself or what she says. She would just be like, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God.
Overbearing,
and just
a little overbearing.
Way overbearing. That's exactly how my mom would have been if she had made it.
Not intentionally. It would get you, right?
Exactly. Like, my mom would get so super excited over like these things. And it just, so it was. Yeah. So Angela reminds me of my mom. Like, if my mom went on Big Brother.
Okay.
And she won the head of household this week. So, but if she hadn't, I think she was going to be up for eviction with Angela, or not Angela, but with Lisa. And Lisa's actually on the block. Lisa got nominated.
She was.
So she's up.
So
on
when
the
does
block.
that come about?
Well, tomorrow night's episode is
Wednesday.
The veto, where one person can try to take themselves off the block.
Okay.
And then on Thursday night, it's a live eviction where someone gets voted out.
Okay.
So you've got to watch
Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday.
It's Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday.
Every week.
Okay,
Sunday,
so
Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, Wednesday, Thursday.
So last week it was Wednesday, Thursday because that was the opening nights to introduce you to all the people. And then starting Sunday, then you see the HOH competition and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and now that we've bored people to tears with Big Brother, because
you said you were going to bring this up.
I can't say I'm a Big Brother super fan because I don't remember who got eliminated, like in what week on what every season. But there's people that do know that stuff, and that's crazy. I mean, yes, I do remember.
That's a little much.
Different seasons, but not the order of evictions and who went first and who.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, for me, it's like, oh yeah, I remember the blonde girl from the blonde one. You know, the blonde girl.
That one.
From season whatever. She was blonde. Do you remember her?
That one.
Do you remember that one?
That one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
That's how much of a super fan I am.
Well, I get that.
So, but I have watched, all of them. Did you watch the Boys season finale?
I did.
Okay, so I really liked it.
Okay.
A lot.
Yeah.
And because this whole season I've said it seemed very political to me, and like all the whole, with all the politics, and then there's all the politics going on in our real world life, but we don't discuss politics on this show.
Mm-hmm.
which has been a crazy week because there's been so much happened in the past 2 weeks in politics.
Exactly.
But we don't talk about that anyway. So on The Boys, it gets. I don't know if this is going to spoil things for people. I'm sorry. You've had the chance.
Finale.
It's the season finale.
Tuesday
You've had
right
the chance to. Yeah, it was
right?
came out last Thursday.
Week,
It was last week.
Yeah.
By the time you're going to hear this is next week. It's
Way
been 2 weeks
beyond.
out. If you haven't
you're
watched
not
it,
gonna,
then
you're
sorry.
not watching
so
it
spoiler alert.
Right.
Okay. Here's my theory.
Okay.
At the end,
Yes.
it's not Butcher.
You don't think that's Butcher?
I think that Ashley, because we see Ashley go into Homelander's apartment and take the V, and then like she keels over as she's turning into a soup,
Yes.
and her hair falls off. I think she turns into a shapeshifter, just like that other girl.
But then the
did.
stuff
Hold
came
on.
out of her stomach, out of his stomach,
right? Because that stuff can happen because then. But think about it. At the end, like, the last scene is Butcher driving along and he's now got the virus to go infect all of the soups that are out there. Who would be more pissed off at all the soups than Ashley? The one who was the CEO of Vought. She was the one who took Homelander's shit for so many years. She took shit from all of these like soups who, basically treated her like crap. This would be the ultimate revenge to go and infect them to kill the soups. And I think that she shapeshifted into Butcher. I think Butcher's still in a hospital bed in the CIA bunker or whatever.
In that room, yeah.
Is dying. I think I think that it's Ashley. She went and she's now shifted to him. And then, her superpower thing also, she, had those like tentacle things that like, sucked out of her and then, and killed the vice president, woman and all that. Because when Butcher's in that room, and he talks to Frenchie and he wants the virus. And Frenchie was just like, okay, finally, he gives it to him. Yeah. But if it's Butcher, he's standing there with Makiko and Starlight, and like, he knows it's going to kill them eventually too. But Ashley doesn't give a shit. If it was Ashley, because Butcher never looked at Starlight or Makiko and had any sort of remorse whatsoever, like, okay, well, I'm going to take the virus and I'm going to go finish the job and, take out Homelander and start this whole thing where it's going to kill all the soups.
Right.
He didn't even glance at them. He didn't even look at them. That scene was like him and Huey in their moment.
Right.
And then he walks out with the virus and then shows him in the car driving. And he's like, got the virus and he's ready to go finish it. I think it's Ashley. I don't think it's Butcher. I think Butcher's still in the hospital bed dying. And I think Ashley shifted.
Butcher take anything.
Exactly.
Right.
But we saw Ashley take something.
Yeah. And she did.
Yes, and she did.
Well, that's a good
so
theory.
That's my theory.
Good theory.
Now, here's the kicker though, right?
Okay, go ahead.
We have to wait 2 years to find out.
It's not. Is it 2 years?
Because Carl Urban, who plays Butcher, posted on Instagram yesterday. He goes, yeah, thanks for the ride, everybody. It's been great. We'll see you in 2 years for the finale.
Oh my!
And it's just like so the last season.
Does that mean there's going to be a middle V, like Gen V?
I have no idea because it means that we're not going to see the final season, which they've already said the next season's the final season.
Yeah.
And the conclusion of all this until June of 2026.
Well, that's
and
not
I'm just
striking that when it's hot,
oh
right?
My
come
God.
on.
Really?
That's a bit of a drop off, isn't it? I mean, is it really going to be so exciting to see it after 2 years?
I don't know.
It's not XLF or anything.
So yeah, right. 35 years later, seeing Axel Foley doing his Axel Foley again, which we'll get back to that in a second. So what are your thoughts on
crossover with the Gen V, where like
which I didn't watch.
The kids were at the end.
Yeah, I didn't watch it,
and they were basically the police for Vought.
Oh, is that what those were?
The kids were.
Okay, I didn't get
those
that.
Those were the kids from that.
Oh, I didn't get that because I didn't watch the
ones that grabbed.
Okay, they come and get Huey, and they took Frenchie, and they took they took the humans. They didn't take the soups.
No, they got Nico, and they also got Frenchie.
Well, no.
The girl that touched Frenchie, that's the one from one of the Gen V, and the boy that was holding on to Nico, he was also in Gen V.
Makiko.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why did they leave Starlighter and only take Huey then?
She got away. Right? She got away.
Well, she was just sitting in the car and they told her to wait there and he just like nodded. And then she launched up
away,
and she took
right? She flew away. But the guy could have done something, but he flew away. But I think they did get Miko.
Okay.
Makiko. Yeah, Makiko.
Okay.
But and then you saw all that. So again, I mean, they're just gathering, right? So that's going to be interesting. But it was only his group. It wasn't like they showed them taking all the humans, right?
Well, yeah, because it was only those that were the ones that were butchered in the boys. In that group.
Oh yeah,
to take them in.
Milk also got corralled at the airport.
Yep. Yeah.
Popped him with the mutant penis. That was good.
Oh my gosh, yeah, in the bathroom.
Slapped him.
Because he had one back to, was that season 2 when they went, or was that?
It was when they went to the
season
sex,
3. Yeah, they went to
the
soup sex party thing. That was such a weird episode.
Insane.
So weird.
Yeah, that was
so weird.
So weird. So yeah, I give it probably the fact that we have to wait 2 years, I didn't
just to find out. But that's why I had to record this and make note of it. That's my theory, that it's Ashley and it's not Butcher.
There's going to be plenty of things on.
So we can go back 2 years from now and go like, see, I called it in the episode in July of episode 27 of
yeah. Who knows?
A Pern and Day. Yeah, right. Who knows?
Yes.
We'll come back and revisit it.
It'll be all there. It'll be all there.
So
recorded.
Going back to the Axel F thing, was that it for the boys for you?
Yeah.
Okay. So going back to the Axel F thing real quick, I found this out this week, and I was just like, "What the?" I had no idea. So when he goes into the first Beverly Hills Cop movie, and he goes into the Beverly Palms Hotel. Mm-hmm. That's a fake name of a hotel. It's not. It actually is a hotel in LA, but it's not called the Beverly Palms.
That one that they used on scene. Right?
So but it is actually a hotel. Yes, that they've shot other stuff apparently in that hotel as well.
Okay, right.
So one of the other things that they've shot in that hotel was the Sedgwick Hotel, which was in Manhattan in the original Ghostbusters.
Oh, really?
It's the same hotel from Ghostbusters where they get Slimer.
Oh, really?
Yes. So, and they shot it in LA, obviously, and they didn't shoot at that part in New York. And it's the same exact hotel in California that they shot, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 4 in, that was supposedly the Beverly Palms. And then in Ghostbusters, it was the Sedgwick Hotel.
Wow.
It's the same hotel, just from a differently, because in Ghostbusters
angles,
it's all dark and it's just and everything, and then
dusty,
and then Beverly Hills Cop, it's like, oh, fancy schmancy, all that. So I found that out this week. I thought that was really interesting. Like, oh, it's the same exact hotel.
Well, that's interesting.
And I forget what the hotel in California it's called. The real name of the hotel is, but it's not. Yeah. So it played the Beverly Palms, and the other thing, which I mentioned a couple weeks ago too about Axel F, is the Rambo thing, his Rambo knife.
Yes.
So his Rambo knife tied into, supposedly, and I mentioned this, that Sylvester Stallone was originally cast to be Axel Foley.
Be the cop,
and Sylvester Stallone pulled out of it just weeks before they started filming.
Wow.
Which is then like Eddie Murphy came in, the rewrites, the whole turning it into a comedy, all that. Throughout the series, like even when in the second Beverly Hills Cop movie, Rosewood, he pulls the jacket out of the back of the trunk of his car, like it's like the Sylvester Stallone Cobra jacket, long jacket, and he goes, "Oh yeah, you can never have too much firepower," and like he has the shotguns just underneath, like Sylvester Stallone. So that was a little tribute, kind of not tribute, but it was almost like a little jab, like, well, Stallone was supposed to be in this, so we're gonna make these Rambo and Sylvester Stallone references.
That's pretty good.
So then in Cop 4, when he's like, oh yeah, my Rambo knife in my office, and he talks about that, and it was just like, again, it was another jab going back to Sylvester Stallone. Like, wow, they really drug this thing out. Like, I mean, they never would have gotten to this point with it being Stallone, which is so funny. But they keep giving these little jabs to Stallone because he was originally supposed to be in the original Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, that's living it up. That's actually putting it into the writing to make sure that it comes out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
and so last week I said that Ghostbusters Frozen Empire was going to be on Max, but it's actually on Netflix, and it came out yesterday on Netflix. I got home from work last night. I watched the first 45 minutes. I'm all in.
Dog interrupted.
And then the dogs came running downstairs and just like would not settle down. And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm trying to watch Ghostbusters freaking Frozen Empire.
I just have to focus on this for homework.
Seriously. And the dogs wouldn't stop, and I said, fine. So I just stopped, and then I turned on an episode of Too Hot to Handle on Netflix and watched it.
Because that's easier to keep.
Because Too Hot to Handle started on Friday.
Oh my
the first 4 episodes are out. Next 4 episodes come out this Friday. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Flavia's back. They brought Flavia back.
Oh, for God's sake.
And Louie.
Can't even connect with
Louie was like a previous cast member who broke all the rules and spent thousands of dollars on kisses and other sexual things.
That's a thing?
It is. Yeah. So they start no.
Show?
The prize money starts at something like 100, or I think in the first show maybe it was 100 or $150,000, but now in this season it's now up to, the prize money is $250,000, and every time that they kiss or canoodle or have sex or something like that, they lose money out of the prize fund. So at the end of the show, the prize fund goes from like $250,000 and can go down to like 80 grand, or 12 grand,
yes.
$12.50. Yeah, exactly.
$12.27.
Yeah, because like just kissing somebody's like $6,000.
Jesus.
Yeah, but when they're kissing, they're going at it.
Oh,
it's
well,
like,
yeah,
oh
it's
my
worth
God.
$6,000.
Yeah,
I would have to make it worth
their
it, right?
$6K. So yeah, so I've just wrapped up an episode of watching Too Hot to Handle.
That's kinda
and
crazy.
Yeah, and watching that, which I know you'll never watch because
No,
yeah,
can't get
I
me
can
into that
barely
one.
I can barely get you into Big Brother.
Oh my God, 17 minutes. I mean,
17
Jesus.
minutes and he's falling asleep in Big Brother.
It's just and it wasn't even the day. I was really ready to. I put it on. I was like, oh, I remembered. I got to watch this, and I was all I put myself together to watch it. But
Okay, well you need to finish up. You
I've
promised
got
me
3
9
weeks,
episodes. 9 episodes.
and
You
I'm
promised me.
17 minutes. So
Okay.
I will add it. I will add to that total. So yeah.
Okay. So should we get to our guest now?
I would think that's what we need to do.
I think he's been holding long
he
enough.
has worked all day.
Okay, so we have our guest on. We have Chase Fernandez with us.
Yep.
Hello, Chase. This is Dave's
Hello.
son-in-law
Yes.
and part of the family. So we welcome him to being our first guest on Pern and Dave Let's Talk.
Yes. This is a monumental.
I know, I'm excited.
occasion.
Monumental, yes, occasion. So we've talked about you obviously with the disc golf and things like that in the past. So some of our 23 listeners do know who you are.
Yes.
So
You probably
Just wait.
overlap with some of the family too. So
well, probably 21 because you and Sid are 2 of the listeners. So we'll
Yeah,
take
yeah.
And my mom.
Oh,
is
and your mom.
another
So
one,
okay,
that's
so
another
20
one.
of the listeners
20 of them
already know who you are.
from voice. Yes.
So you guys got tickets and went and saw The Empire Strips Back burlesque show.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we wanted to get your review of the show.
Yeah.
Because of
So you do your review. I actually have a couple questions. I made up a list of questions that I wanted to ask about the show, and also knowing from your initial reactions when you got home, when you were talking about it. So go ahead. The initial show itself.
Well, yeah. So just the plain review,
Yes.
5 stars. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was
Really?
such a good show. The production value was surprisingly high.
Wow.
Hmm.
And so
Like-
where was the venue?
It was right in DC. So it was in a place called the Showroom. And it's literally
Okay.
just like a building, and it's just a big room that they just set up a stage and
Oh, I
whatever.
thought it
else
was
they
Wow.
a theater. I thought it
Chairs.
was one of the theaters.
No, no, not really.
Okay.
how many people were there in the audience?
I'd probably say like maybe 200
I was
people.
about to say two people. It was just you
Two.
and Sid.
6.
No. Not a ton of people, but like
Okay.
a good amount of people.
That's good. That's actually a good surprise.
It's a huge.
amount.
Okay, this actually was kind of shocking. A huge variety of ages. More
Really?
than I was
That's what I was going to
expecting.
ask too. The percentage of creepy old men to
Well, yeah, the creepy old
the
Star
creepy
Wars
old men factor, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like, I mean, the older people were the people who were like couples.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
Right,
think
'cause they
there
both were
were
fans and
A cabaret.
Yeah, there were a couple that they were talking about. Oh, who was born in the 90s, the 80s, that sort of stuff.
Oh, so they were
okay.
getting
And
crowd.
they got all the way down. Someone in the audience was born in the 1940s.
Holy bejesus.
wow.
And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my gosh,
Well,
you're coming
must-
to a Star Wars
ancient.
burlesque
They
show.
really like Star Wars.
Yeah, that's
I
like
guess
that's like
so.
if I brought my dad to the show.
Yes. Or my mom.
So okay, it's funny you mentioned that.
We love you,
Actually,
Nancy.
Was my mom there?
Yeah, was Nancy
No, no,
there?
no, no,
She was
Well,
there. Oh, okay.
it's related. It's related.
Oh,
so
okay, okay.
Did she get to see Darth Vader's lightsaber? That's what I want to know. Nancy, did you see Vader's lightsaber?
Vader saber. Was it
Vader
really
saber?
red? Is it really red?
Is it really red? I got to know. Do the drapes match the carpet? Do they?
absolutely yes. No, but okay, so
Related.
part of the whole thing is while they're setting up the show, like with the curtains drawn, and they're setting everything up in the back, they had like a comedian do
like
the
warm up the
in-between
Oh, the in
stuff.
between. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he was talking with the crowd and stuff like that. And there was this one guy up front that he was really ragging on.
Okay.
And he was asking if it was anyone's birthday.
Hmm.
And the person sitting next to the guy he was ragging on was like, oh, it's my 21st birthday.
Oh.
And by the way, this guy you were making fun of is my dad. He brought me to the burlesque
The
show
dad
on my
brought him to
21st
his-
birthday.
Well, I guess it's better than a strip club.
It's about
And
the
I'm
same.
like,
It's
I
just
mean,
Star
yes,
Wars.
you're
Star
not
Wars.
throwing
It's
money
pretty
at it,
much
though.
the same.
You're not wasting that
But
much
I'm
money.
like-
But yeah.
And they made a joke about this. I was like, man, that must have been an interesting car ride home.
Exactly. Well, son,
Yeah.
What'd you
Hey,
think?
so what did you think?
What did you think?
I had never seen a 3-boobed space alien before. How about you?
No 3 boobs, actually,
No 3,
unfortunately.
just blue.
No.
Just blue or green.
Just blue or green.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Green was actually,
So
Green was the
how close to the original story did they follow?
Oh,
Or did they
I
start?
mean, it's
Or
just
did they follow
vignettes.
any story?
Yeah.
they did scenes that you could directly correlate to the movies.
Okay.
So like they had a life-size Jabba the Hutt puppet.
Okay, and I was going to ask you about that because this is Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back, and that was
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. So I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
well, I mean,
oh, yeah.
they didn't
Yeah.
really.
So they jumped all
They
over
didn't
the
stick-
whole genre.
Yeah.
all
or
over
the whole.
franchise.
The name was
Yeah.
more to just be cute about it. I guess.
Oh yeah, I mean, they
It-
saw an opportunity and they took it.
Obviously.
It wasn't just them
You
on
can't blame them
cloth
for
with
that,
like
you know?
cold nipples or something because they're frozen, right?
'Cause
It wasn't. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although you
Snow
told me there was a
troopers
Hoth
that
thing.
are. Yeah.
Tell
Oh,
about the Hoth
yeah.
thing. Yeah, because there
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
Hoth moment.
Oh, isn't there a
There was-
tauntaun?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So there was a tauntaun puppet. So there was a guy in the tauntaun suit,
Right. As the
And,
legs of the tauntaun kind of
Walking
thing.
Yes.
a
Yeah,
stripper
yes.
on his back. Yeah.
and yes, the performer's riding on it.
Mhm.
She gets off, and she starts stripping, and
It's cold.
she's acting like, oh, it's
Obviously.
cold. She's like shivering,
Oh, I'm
right?
so cold.
Yeah. So what do you do when
in
you're on
Hoth,
Hoth and it's
you're
cold?
You put clothes on.
She
No, not
So
her.
the tauntaun is on the ground. She rips it open.
Ooh, and she got inside.
And its guts
Oh.
are like out,
Oh.
like they put in the tauntaun guts.
Oh, and I thought they smelled
And it's
bad on the
spilling out.
outside.
Yeah,
exactly.
Oh,
Oh my goodness!
like, wow,
At least
this
this
is
wasn't
amazing.
smell-o-vision.
oh my god. Yeah.
Wow,
That's
interesting.
That's
So
sexy.
they had the
That is
Jabba Hutt.
sexy.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had.
You guys might need to
very
excuse me for a
sexy.
few minutes.
the Tauntaun.
Oh,
So what else was there?
I need a break.
You mentioned the C-3PO also.
Yeah, didn't C-3PO have boobs?
oh yeah, the C-3PO was really funny. So
Okay.
they had them on a spinning platform,
Okay.
and they're doing like very robotic move dancing.
Right. Just
So
doing the
it's-
robot. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, but it's sexy because it's C-3PO
The
with tits.
sexy robo.
Exactly.
Yes.
Giddy up.
But-
Wow.
So as C-3PO is dancing, they have Jawas coming up and taking off pieces of the armor,
Oh, of the suit.
right? The
Yeah.
outer plating
Yeah.
of C-3PO. And the more pieces they take off, the smoother the dance becomes. And the
Of
So
course.
sexier.
She
less
wasn't
robotic,
so
more
robotic.
sexy.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Perfect.
And then at the very end, they take off like the chest plate and like the
Yeah.
groin covering plate.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
And
so
she covers up for a second, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like there's a
Talk slower. Slower.
there's a point in the song where it's like bang, and she lifts up her arms, and there's just LEDs.
Oh, right
her-
where, across her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Lovely.
okay.
That's
Gotcha.
perfect.
Yeah, all over.
Very artistic.
perfect.
Very
So,
artistic.
well, what I would want to see is C-3PO going from being the pole to dancing on the pole.
Dancing on the
That's
pole.
an
Right.
idea.
Yes.
Right?
Perfect. That's
Have
You should
interesting.
contact
So
them.
you know, in my
Yeah.
head, I was seeing. You remember
Yeah.
in Spaceballs, the Joan Rivers.
Uh-huh.
That's who I was picturing at first. Was that
Oh my
C-3PO mock character?
Oh,
Because
that's
she
a
was a
missed
female, but I was
opportunity.
just like, nah, it's Joan Rivers. I couldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just C-3PO with
Just boobs. Yeah.
okay.
So, were there any laser fights? Like, were there the shooting with lasers or anything, or was it just?
There wasn't. There was a couple of scenes where they were shooting. They didn't have like light effects and stuff like that.
It's just
But they had
sound
they had a
effects.
couple lightsaber duels, right?
No duels.
Oh, I
just
thought they
dancing.
had
with
Just
the
swinging.
just
lightsaber.
dancing with
Swinging
a
'em
lightsaber.
around.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
dancing.
Because they
with the
don't want it to
lightsaber.
be sexy violent. They just want it to be sexy sexy.
Yeah, no.
Okay, gotcha.
So was
There
there
was some violence.
what you
a few
meant?
shooting.
So there was a prop that you happened upon.
Okay.
This is good.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One of these scenes was someone, they like ride in on a sand speeder, like from the first movie.
Oh, land speeder.
like
yeah.
loose, yeah, like
Luke's
Luke speeder.
yeah, land speeder.
And
And then
she's
she
dancing,
and she
she's
gives it a car
stripping.
wash, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yes.
she like rubs it. And it's like,
How do you
oh,
know
it's
this much
dirty.
about- wait a
I saw
minute,
the
wait a minute.
clip. I saw
You
the
guys
video
talked
clip
about this a
online.
little bit.
I don't
on
remember
previous
this as a
I
clip
saw the video
because
clip. And is this when R2D2 comes out and starts spitting out ones?
That's a different one.
Or is
Yeah,
that a
we
different-
didn't get the. We didn't get the.
You didn't get the R2D2
Making it
shooting out.
rain.
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
No.
What the?
Maybe that's just for
Get
Get your money
advertising.
back. Get your
That's just for
$40 back.
advertising. Okay, so she's
Okay. Anyway, so
washing
yeah, so
the
she's
speeder?
she's
But-
washing her land speeder.
But yeah, she's washing it with,
Exactly.
with the
With
the sponge
Watch your
that she
pace.
has.
Watch your pace. Slow down. Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
We're
Talking
trying to
too
fill
fast,
an hour. Yeah.
You guys talked for so long already. Anyway,
Yes,
Oh,
yes, we did.
yeah, we
well,
do.
it's got to
Yeah.
get cut. There's a big coughing.
Oh yeah.
in-
I'm in the middle of a sentence and Dave starts like coughing his brains out. I'm like,
I didn't know what
hi.
happened. I just
I
got
mean,
dry.
And all I'm trying to remember is the last
Anyway,
word I said. So and then
We're
I'm like,
cutting into the review. We're cutting into the
you guys
review.
are always cutting each other off.
Yes, we
It's-
are. It's pretty.
Yeah.
sweet.
It's amazing you guys can hold a conversation, honestly.
it is.
Obviously, yes,
and
and,
hear
it's,
each
and
other.
actually it
Amazing
keeps a theme.
Anybody can
yes.
listen to all of
That
that
would
and
listen
take
to
all
it
of it
and
in. 'cause
follow
we're
It's hard
constantly-
sometimes. I got to be honest.
It is true. It is true.
Was that from the Star Wars again? From this?
It's hard. No,
Oh,
no.
no?
So the review.
Oh,
so
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
Oh,
she's
was that-
washing the speeder. Then what
It was
happens?
a boner joke. If you didn't get that.
She watched the speeder and she's washing herself as well.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Very sexy, awesome. And then she dumps the rest of the bowl of water on herself, and
The
then
dirty
takes
land
the
speeder one?
sponge. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
yuck.
you're
It's clean.
hot, on. There's two
It's
suns,
Tatooine. You're on
right?
Tatooine,
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
guess.
desert planet,
Right.
so it'd be hot
I mean,
to do that. Yeah.
and she takes the sponge and throws it onto the crowd.
Oh, to get
And
them dirty.
I'm like, as soon as she throws it, I'm like, oh, I see where this is going. There's no way it's gonna reach me. Someone will reach up and grab it,
Mm-hmm.
No.
and it passes right by the head of the person sitting right in front of me. And all I do is I hold out my hands, and it just lands right in my hands. And I'm
Oh,
like,
so you got
sponged.
you got
sponged at
You
the
got
show.
stripper
a
sponged.
prize, yeah.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
cool
oh, you
thing
get to
was
keep it?
it actually was signed.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
I got it.
wow.
Yeah, it was signed.
Yeah,
Oh.
it says XO Mariah Lewis. So thank you,
Oh,
Mariah.
thank you,
Yeah,
Mariah
thank you.
Lewis.
Yes, that was
Get a
perfect.
applause for
a nice
Mariah.
little prop. A nice little prop there.
Nice.
It was funny on the
prop
way
for
out.
fans.
On the way out, the host, who was the comedian,
Yes.
The
was
MC?
just like, he was just seeing everyone out, and he looks down. He's like, "Is that the sponge?" I'm like, "Yeah, it
he
is."
didn't take that from you, did he?
He's like, "Awesome." No, he was
Oh,
like,
okay. Oh,
"That's cool."
He's
That's
like, oh,
funny.
cool, you got the sponge.
That's
Nice.
right.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
that is my prop. That would have been
That
on my
is-
shirt.
that
I
is
wouldn't
my-
let
No,
anyone
no,
see
no.
that.
They're not
my
taking my
stripper
sponge.
prop.
Should have taken that back.
Yeah, it's mine.
Yes.
I earned that.
That would have been dollar
Exactly.
bills from R2 if that would have been rain.
Right?
You could have gotten some dollar bills from R2, but
Yeah, that
If
would have
only.
been,
some,
that would have been something.
Darth Bucks.
And so here, but my big, probably, I guess, last question is: did people leave when the credits started, or did
No,
they
they
stay through
stayed
the end?
all the way to the
Okay,
end.
they stayed through the end.
very end.
Respect to
sure.
the burlesque
Thank
strippers,
goodness.
but fuck the symphony
Fuck
that
the
played
symphony.
the Star Wars score.
Oh,
Yeah,
Which is
Drove
interesting
me
because
crazy.
you watched the Star Wars, which was the previous week, and then you watched The Empire Strips Back. So now you
All
need
in
to
one
watch a
week.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
next.
Yeah, we got to do a Return of the Jedi.
We got to get a Return of the Jedi something.
Oh.
It was a very Star Wars packed few
Well, I
days.
guess
You did
I guess
definitely have it all
I mean,
in
I guess
one.
if you just replay The Empire Strikes Back in your head, there'll be the return of something.
Yes, wouldn't
But,
it?
I mean,
Yes,
something will
you'll
pop
return.
up. I'm sure
It'll
something will
return
pop up.
to
Few
you.
returns, yeah.
So
Something
was
will
there
return and
any
pop up.
merchandise like shirts you could buy or anything like that? Because I know at the
Oh,
concert
oh,
there
yeah.
was. Oh,
Sydney actually bought me a shirt.
oh,
Nice.
was it at the? Oh, yes. What was that one? I didn't see that one. You
I'm going
didn't
to
show
see
that one.
pictures of this stuff. I
Uh,
need pictures.
Oh, the pictures are going to have to go up on the
Yeah, I got to
Oh,
put
yeah.
pictures up on
Facebook.
I'll put some in the Discord real quick.
That'll be perfect. Yeah, so there were shirts and stuff, so that's good. Were there pasties or anything like that you could buy? Star Wars pasties.
No, they weren't selling the
Lightsaber pasties.
It was just t-shirts.
No.
Just
They,
t-shirts.
they were selling lightsabers.
Oh, they
wow.
were. That's
Okay.
good. That's
Yeah.
good.
Vader
Nice.
saber.
Obviously
Vader
not
sabers.
Vader sabers.
licensed or anything.
Of course.
Of course.
And then the
Yeah.
Palpatine, right, on the Death Star, that was a thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was the most.
Wait, so was it
let's say,
Palpatine or
interesting.
was it one of his royal guards?
Okay, so there were the royal guards.
Right, in the red.
Yeah, that were a big part of it. And Sydney got a t-shirt. There was a scene where Palpatine actually came out and he stripped.
Yeah.
So
And so it was someone in like a bodysuit that's like really wrinkly and like
well, yeah, like the
loose.
Palpatine, yeah, kind of, yeah,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right.
Like he's a billion years old or whatever. So
Of
Mhm.
course.
he doesn't look good.
and old
And
and wrinkly.
he has
I mean, he's probably born in the
just
40s.
big old dung and balls.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Really low hanging balls.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Right,
gosh.
yeah.
And what they did was they got a giant disco ball that looked like the Death Star,
Mm-hmm.
and they were playing Wrecking Ball while he jumped and swung on it.
Wait, they're Miley Cyrus Wrecking Ball?
Yeah, oh yeah, they were playing like legit music during the whole thing.
Okay. Not
right.
actual Star Wars songs.
Not
they were
actual.
No.
Pop
Just regular old
Actual pop
music.
like you're in
Interesting.
the strip
Yeah,
club.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, okay, so I mean, Star Wars can only be so sexy. Like the music,
I get that.
I wouldn't.
But you
I
would
don't
think they
know.
could sex up the song, right? Like,
I mean, come on. Like when
version.
Han and Leia are in the Millennium Falcon and they kiss the first time in Empire Strikes Back, when they're down
that's
in the crater,
music, yeah.
and like I mean the music, that was beautiful. That was
That was
sexy.
pretty good.
That was sexy.
Yeah,
Was
yeah.
it stripper worthy though? I don't know if it would be playing in the back of a
Please,
stripper
you're going to
or
see a Star Wars strip
I'm
show.
now got a
What is
whole-
it?
Yeah, I guess I now
I think
have a whole
everything's off the table at this
everything.
point.
It could be anything. Yeah, well, I would have thought right there.
Everything's
Remixes,
off
but
the table.
yes, they would probably have had to have paid, to remix those versions, right?
Oh yeah, because I'm sure Miley Cyrus isn't going to hunt them down over her royalties over using
For how long?
feel
Yeah, how long? 5
like-
minutes? I don't know if that's
Yeah.
yeah. I get that.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Okay.
Well, that's good. That's
Very
good.
cool.
So you would do it again if it came back around, or if the Return
Oh,
of the
if it's
Jedi
the Return of the
version
Jedi
came around?
version?
Yes.
If it was a new show, if it was a different show, I would absolutely go
Okay.
see it.
That'd
Yeah.
probably be the only
So
way, yeah.
so if the next one's The Force Awakens, I know it sells
Yes.
itself, right?
It does.
It sells
You
itself.
don't even
The
have
Force
to change the
Awakens.
name. It
That's
just
pretty good,
happens.
actually.
Yes.
It's
Yes. Perfect.
It's
I
got to
mean,
be.
Yeah. Right.
exactly. I don't
Yeah.
even.
That would be perfect. Yes. And then they have Ray, and you'd have a whole different array of characters, a whole different,
Absolutely.
different array.
But R2 would still not be there, even though he was in those.
He was in that one. Yeah.
Making it
That's
rain.
sad.
Yeah,
I
That's
really
sad.
wished
I
I'd
know.
seen R2
Maybe
making
his
it rain.
prop didn't work.
I
Maybe it
know.
was broken and they couldn't do it.
So
Oh.
that was the other kind of unfortunate thing, was because of the setup, we weren't like elevated in any sort of
Oh,
way.
so everybody's
Flat.
on the same level. Yeah, so you don't have.
So
it's not like a
it
movie
was really
theater.
hard to see, and if they were on the ground
Right.
of the stage,
stage,
we
you couldn't
just
see
couldn't
them.
see anything.
So was it
that's
assigned
not us.
seats or was it just like
Tables.
general admission? You come in
So-
and sit down.
It's not assigned seats, but you were given a zone.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, I get that.
So
Yeah.
So like, oh, the cheaper ones are way in the back, and the
Yeah,
more expensive
right,
right in front.
The $5
Yeah, you'd have
seats.
thought they would have kept
Yeah.
that on some kind of slant, though. I mean, even theater stages are like that, so that you can see all the action.
Yeah, so you can see.
I
but
know.
Weren't the most expensive tickets like $40? I think.
Was it?
I mean, if you're going to go see
Oh.
it, yeah, I thought tickets like
Weren't
they like-
Well, Chase was close enough to get hit with a
expensive.
sponge, so it had to be.
That's
yeah,
true.
I
true.
mean,
I mean,
good lord, those don't have a lot of weight to them.
right? But the sponge has
No.
got to be wet to carry.
Yeah, exactly.
It was-
And I don't
it
think
was
that
soaked.
wet. Oh, it was.
it
You
was
got?
soaked.
Did you
Yeah.
get wet?
Oh,
when it hit
she
you, it
soaked that sponge.
soaked it. It was
She
very
soaked
wet.
it.
Very wet.
Oh,
We're gross.
Sorry.
Anyway, that's my son-in-law. Goddamn it. Anyway, yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm used to it.
That's a good review.
So-
Good review. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, yeah. I was giving him shit the whole time.
Okay.
yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, if the Force Awakens comes back, I think we all have to go.
oh my god, no.
Absolutely.
I don't think I could do that. I'd be like that guy with the 21-year-old. I really don't think I could do that.
He looked like he was having fun. I don't know.
I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
How could you not?
yes, exactly.
Like, I came to the show. I was forced to come to the show with my dad.
With my dad.
Meh.
He brought me
Oh,
on my-
no.
on my
I have to look at movies
birthday.
and balls. What?
What
Meh.
the? Meh.
And Star Wars.
Oh my gosh. Han Solo played a lot of parts.
Oh,
Han
really?
Solo and
Oh yeah, I
Chewbacca.
also saw a video. Yeah, doesn't he like stroke his gun like at
Oh,
the
yeah.
audience or something and
Oh, yeah.
do something like Prince used to get in trouble for doing that with his guitar,
With a
but like
guitar,
now you can do that at a
just-
Star
well,
Wars Burlesque
he
show.
set
and,
the
you
he
know,
set the stage. So
yeah, I guess.
I mean, they
he
worked
broke
hard.
the ceiling.
All the performers, they worked really hard. You
Yeah.
can tell.
Oh, well, that's
Hmm.
good.
Did they have a fluffer for that or?
Oh, I don't think they needed that.
Not required, honestly.
Not required. I doubt that
Not
was required.
required.
There
Okay.
was
As long as they're paying
I'm
attention.
glad you guys
Next
get
group.
my jokes because
Yes.
I'm trying to.
Yes. No, I got it. No, it's good. We're all on the same level. Here.
Okay, gotcha. We're all perverts.
We're all
yes,
got it.
exactly.
Yes.
I mean,
Cool.
this-
I'm definitely
Yes.
checking the explicit content box when I
Yes.
post
We
this
just
episode.
definitely going to have to
Oh,
put
yeah.
an
and
extra
put a warning
disclaimer.
on the head.
Extra
of this.
disclaimer.
Yes.
The review in the middle.
Yes. So
And
Cool.
of course, the whole show still doesn't top the in concert. That will never.
the with that Wolf Trap was better.
The
Really?
A New Hope.
Oh,
concert.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yep.
Yeah, we filled you in on
We
that
filled
one
that
last
was
night.
last week's episode. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Very
Yeah.
cool.
And you do that again if it was a different one or the same one.
Oh, I mean, if I could watch every movie like that, oh, I mean, okay, the original trilogy and the prequels, maybe.
Right.
You wouldn't want to see
The new 7, 8, and 9.
The Rise of Skywalker? Oh, that's a whole nother show for the burlesque thing. The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's really good.
Damn, I didn't even think of that one earlier.
They just write themselves.
Oh, they,
Why
seriously.
are all Star Wars titles so potentially?
Yeah.
So
sexual?
potentially.
Yeah.
So potential cabarets. So then, but that opens the thing to it. Would you do like a Harry Potter kind of thing with that, or a?
See, for me, Star Wars has just been such a huge part of my childhood and life.
Mhm.
Right.
that
Same.
I don't know if any movie franchise could possibly top that.
So
Oh,
you would
okay.
so you wouldn't go see the Ghostbusters one.
Maybe Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters.
So
would be
I
fun.
thought of what if they did it for Back to the Future? Because the
Mhm.
music in Back to the Future was very pulled the
Oh,
movie
yeah.
together. Like
Right,
the
exactly.
Yeah.
instrumental stuff and the score on that in
Mhm.
Back to the Future was very So
Oh yeah,
I think that would be very cool to maybe see with the orchestra.
Hmm.
I think.
Just an
I mean,
idea. We'll throw that out there for the National Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
I'm sure
Back to
they
the
have a
Future.
bunch of them.
Anytime the orchestra is right there, it's just
It's so
adds.
powerful.
a totally
Yes.
different experience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I cried
So
many
powerful.
times.
Hmm.
Oh wow. Okay.
I
So
cried
we-
many
Did you
times.
cry when
Yeah.
Luke needed to go to Tashi Station to pick up power converters?
It's so funny. You guys already talked about this on the
Right.
show. I hate to repeat myself, but like the amount of it was so weird that people laughed so much.
Yeah.
During
Oh
Star
yeah.
Wars?
Yeah. Dave was saying that. Yeah. That people were
It's like
just
the
like,
first time they'd
and
seen
like the
the
first time they've
movie.
seen it, and it's just
I would think that'd be.
it's like it's not a comedy, people. I mean, yes, there's humorous parts, but I mean,
If you
It
think
dawned
about
on
it-
me. I was like, wait a second. Maybe not everyone has seen Star Wars a billion times like I
Mhm.
have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can always just see it on Disney Plus or just, anywhere now, and even in like Lego form, or I mean, it's like everywhere.
yeah.
So I don't see how you couldn't have had some kind of, I guess, exposure to it.
Yep, familiarity.
More
Right.
exposure.
Especially
More
when you're
exposure.
going
Can
to
we
I was going with
seriously?
it. I was coming up with something. I
Come
couldn't
on,
figure it out.
Dave.
Sorry,
More
yes,
exposure.
exposure.
Going to the Empire Strips Back for more exposure.
Oh yeah.
So we do
Lots
have
of
a couple things. Do you want to hang out while we go over a couple more things on our podcast before we close?
Yeah.
We do
well,
have a couple
I mean,
topics that we can talk about.
Okay.
We've got a
Sure.
couple more things coming up.
We do.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, cool. One of them was we touched on it last time. It was the concerts we wanted to see
Yes.
that
Yes.
possibly in the
That-
past, or
that we-
anything in the past that we would have wanted to see or not been able to see when we were growing up.
Correct.
And I have a list. I have a couple things on here.
So before you get to that,
Yes.
before you get to that list, I actually found out that Air Supply is coming to Hershey, Pennsylvania
Yes.
on
I did.
November 8th.
That was a joke.
Because
I just went
Dave
listening
said he
to it on
wanted
the
to go
70s
see Air
channel.
Supply. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me
I
right
just
now?
brought it up.
So I went
It
and
was
checked,
joking.
and they're on tour. And they'll be in
Yes.
Hershey, Pennsylvania on Friday, November 8th. So I think, and you
November
can
8th.
get like
Huh.
good seats for like,
Still.
70 or 80
Oh,
bucks. Like, yeah, in the
definitely.
first
And
like
that's
10
not that
rows.
far. It's
So
like 2 hours away. so-
absolutely, like a little trip up to Hershey, maybe
Perfect.
stay over
Stay
and,
at the
then go to
Chocolate
Hershey
Hotel.
Park the next day
Yeah,
or something
perfect.
and
Get
go to
the
Chocolate
Chocolate
World.
World.
Absolutely.
Our fresh chocolate and
Yeah. So
Twizzlers.
Air Supply's coming, Dave.
Air
They're
Supplies.
coming.
Make a whole day of it.
I can't even think of an Air Supply song in my head right now because all I can think of is Christopher Cross.
Yeah, that's because you've got
Sailing
70s.
away. Yeah, I can't
you've
even
got,
think of
Who
yeah.
was Air Supply?
or REO Speedwagon. I got REO Speedwagon in
Oh
my
my
head, but I can't
God.
get Air Supply in my
Air
head.
Supply. Yes.
Okay, so anyway, so your list, Dave, what was
Yeah.
your,
Okay.
your
So
list?
I had the Beatles.
Of course.
Right. You kind of
Which
want to see
would-
what the fascination
absolutely.
was.
I was a
You hear
musician.
the songs, you hear the girls screaming in the crowd. It would be interesting to go to a concert and actually hear them. And even when they were getting into the 70s and 80s too, hearing some of their songs.
The 70s and 80s.
70s,
Do you know when
sorry.
the Beatles broke up?
70s, 60s,
The Beatles broke up in 1969.
69. So there we go.
Good.
But
yeah.
I mean, Paul McCartney and
Well, Paul McCartney and Wings.
Ringo.
He did his solo stuff and stuff with Wings into the 70s, and
Right.
and then John Lennon died in
right.
83, 81, 83.
80.
I can't remember. It was early 80s, but
I
81,
can't
83,
remember.
something like that.
Right.
The Beatles were on mine, but I would want to go see the Beatles when they were still playing in Liverpool in the cave.
Oh, really?
In a very small crowd of 20, 30 people. I would not want to go see them because when they came to the US, the first show they played was in Baltimore, and the first stadium show, because they did that Sullivan, and then they went to Baltimore and did their first show
Right.
in the stadium there. And you couldn't, the sound was terrible. You couldn't hear them playing because of the girls screaming so fucking loud. and you were like a mile away. They literally put the stage out in the middle of like where the baseball diamond is, and there were no seats on the field. So you're up in the stands.
You were that far away.
And you're that far away from them.
Specs
so
on the stage.
I mean, yes, I would love to have seen the Beatles, but I would have wanted to see them right before they broke, while they were still doing shows in Liverpool, because like they would play like, 4 or 5 nights a week sometimes. And they would do like multiple sets in a night. I mean, like I would love to go see them right before they broke, when you knew there was something special there, but they hadn't, gone super big yet.
I get that.
That's when I would want to see the Beatles.
I had Kiss, but in the 70s.
Kiss in the 70s. So
I've seen them in the 90s. I saw them in 2000 something.
Wait, before they put the makeup back on?
When they put the makeup back on, yeah.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
you did
I
see them
saw
when they
them
put
back.
it was the reunion tour
It was
thing that
after
lasted another
Animalizer.
20
It was
years.
the next one.
Yes, because Animalizer, yeah.
And I wasn't too thrilled with that one because that's when they took the makeup off. But
well, and at that point, who was playing guitar? Because it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't Ace.
No, it wasn't.
It was just Gene and Paul,
Right.
and then I don't know. So
yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was that one.
I've never bought into the whole Kiss thing. I mean, I like
really?
Kiss. They're good. I know their songs, but I'm not like I'm not part of the Kiss army and the Kisstery and all that stuff. I'm just, but yeah, whatever.
Right. Again, it was the show, right? It was the show itself. Van Halen, when they were in 1984, Frank.
Oh yes, David Lee Roth, 1984, when they were at the prime with Jump, and yes, and
they were together. They were the whole,
because I saw them on the For Unlawful Knowledge. Carnal Knowledge tour.
Yeah, that was Sammy.
With Sammy. Yeah. That was the one time I got to see them. Were you with me at that show?
No.
I had floor seats for that.
No, I had
like 10th row or 12th row floor seats for that. That was amazing. Like great. I'd have to go find my tickets.
No, the first time I saw them was when they were at Monsters of Rock.
Oh yeah,
and
it was Metallica
and Scorpions, Van Halen.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
at
insane.
RFK Stadium.
Yeah, that was insane.
I remember that. Def Leppard was there, right? For that?
No.
I thought Def Leppard was on the Monsters Rock tour.
No, I don't.
Maybe
think
okay. I'm wrong.
I don't think it was at that one that they played that one.
I got you.
Boston was one.
Boston.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie
Would
Wonder.
have been a good one.
Yeah.
Billy Joel in the 80s. Not like seeing him.
I saw Billy Joel in the 80s. I saw him on the Bridge tour.
You did.
I saw him on the Bridge tour in '88 at the old Capitol Center.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I fell in love with Billy Joel and was like, oh my gosh, what a great show. And I saw him on the Stormfront tour, which was the next tour after that. And I saw him on, oh my God, I forget what tour was after that. But I've seen him on 3 different tours. He just, he crushes it. Billy Joel, just a classic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
AC/DC would have been a good one.
Before Angus died, right?
Yeah.
Or no, it was Malcolm died.
Yeah.
And Bon Scott obviously was not.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Guns N' Roses would have been a good one.
I saw Guns N' Roses.
In my time frame, I would have been able to see them, but I didn't.
I saw them on the Use Your Illusion tour.
Oh, that's a good one.
So that was, And I had to pay $25 for that ticket, and I was outraged. It was that expensive.
$25.
I was like, I got to pay $25 to see fucking Guns N' Roses. Are you kidding me?
And wasn't that a stadium concert?
It was at the old Capitol Center. Yeah, it was at the Capitol Center.
It was at Capitol Center, yeah. The US Air, the old US Air.
Which then became US Air Arena, yeah.
And I mentioned Genesis because of...
and I saw Genesis.
Before they...
Oh, you mean with Peter Gabriel?
Yeah.
Like in 70s? Okay. Yeah, because I saw them on the Invisible Touch tour at RFK Stadium.
Right, which was the scary video version of what we were talking about.
Land of Confusion.
The Cars would have been one I wanted to see.
Oh my gosh, I had tickets to see the Cars and I didn't go.
Oh.
And it was on the door-to-door tour, so it was their tour, that tour of their last like real record. But Benjamin Orr had already passed,
right?
So yeah, so when Ben died, it was like kind of, I mean, yes, Rick Ocasek is the Cars, but Ben was a huge contributor to the band, and writer, and yeah.
So. Foreigner, Iron Maiden, those are a couple I would.
Isn't Lou Gramm a Foreigner? Isn't he out on tour with Sammy Hagar right now?
Is that him with? Him?
Or is that? I don't know. We'd have to.
Because I heard that they were putting all together the Van Halen scenario.
Yeah, they played at Jiffy Lube this past weekend.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
How did it go?
Really, I know some people that went and they said it was fantastic. It was
amazing.
A blast.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yep. And Weird Al. I wouldn't mind going to see Weird Al Yankovic. But
I thought about going to see Weird Al one time because my wife and I actually, believe it or not, share a love for Weird Al. I don't know what it is, but it's
there's a story here. So, Do you want to tell it, Chase?
Yeah. Let me just get this out in the open.
Chase on the Weird Al.
It was an accident.
I'm still here.
It wasn't fair.
Yeah.
It was an accident.
No, I mean, it was very last minute. This was like when I first moved in, I think.
Yes, yeah, it was pre that, yeah.
It was a few years ago.
Yeah,
but anyway, I not making a lot of money.
None of us are.
None of us are, exactly. You're still
especially doing this. None of us.
Okay,
go ahead. Yeah.
It was your birthday coming up.
Yes, it was.
And so I was like, "Ooh, I gotta do something. And I just saw an advertisement for Weird Al was touring. And I remember Sydney was saying how much you loved Weird Al. I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll go get us tickets.
Right.
Hey.
We'll go see the Weird Al concert.
So 3 tickets were purchased to go see him at the Jiffy Lube. And
so I got the tickets. And I was like, all right, it's this day at this time. And then I'm at work. And I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for tomorrow to go to this concert. And I get a notification on my phone being like, oh, your concert's tonight. And I'm like, what?
Like, wait, what?
Yes.
I actually remember hearing the story. Dave's told me this in the past.
It was the previous night.
Yep.
I got the day wrong.
The day was wrong. And the next day, we figured it out. And it was like, oh, damn it.
Like the show was last night and we missed it.
I felt so bad.
It was an accident. It was not your fault, but I razz him about it all the time.
Okay, well, we're gonna watch for Weird Al tickets when he comes back.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gotta go to Weird Al
because he is releasing some new stuff, so that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
which I was so excited to see that concert because that's when he was doing like a new or different cover song on his accordion. For every new show.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's super cool.
That'll be cool. Yeah, it'll be an original
for every show.
Yeah.
Like that. So you'll see
crazy. So you see something.
Plays.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yes. Well, they'll probably do that again.
Yeah. Because he's Al.
He's Al.
And he's weird.
He does that. Yeah.
I remember seeing a little documentary thing on Weird Al years ago, and he said that, when he was first starting to break, because, he got his songs played on Dr. Demento,
right, and
he was starting to get his break, and he would go to clubs, and when you see the name up on the board above, at the entrance, in the letters, that how many times it would be misspelled, and it would say Wired Al Yankovic,
of course,
not Weird Al, because they misspelled Wired, not Yankovic, but it would, or just say Wired Al, or instead of Weird Al, and it was just, and he goes like, did these people just not know how to spell? It's not Wired Al, it's Weird Al. Like swap
That's
the.
Unfortunate.
Well, did you see the movie with Daniel Radcliffe? It's actually really good.
I haven't, but I saw that I think it's on Amazon Prime.
That's a good one.
I think. Yeah, it was on my list to watch.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it yet, but it seems interesting.
It's pretty good. It's actually a non-truthful telling of the Weird Al story. Well, the whole thing about it is a little over the top, but it's really kind of pretty good.
Okay, cool.
I'm actually more excited to watch it now after hearing that.
Okay, Chase, that's our homework. I think you and I need to have to watch the Wired Al.
Watch The Acolyte.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
I got to episode 3 and I just, episode 1 and 2 I was in. Episode 3 I was just like, and I haven't gone back since then.
I'll be honest, I was the exact same way. I watched the 3rd episode and I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep watching.
Yeah, I was like, are we going to continue this or
And then the rest of it came out and I was like, well, I might as well.
This is our longest episode. We still have one more thing to do, right? We got sports. We have some sports.
I'm sorry.
No. It's not that.
We don't have to get into that.
And I think Chase is my new buddy, by the way.
The
Star Wars geek in me is totally coming out.
That's true. That's true. Well, he's definitely wrapped around.
I love the younger generation Star Wars geeks.
It is pretty good.
They did some weird lore stuff, but I mean, what do you expect?
Well, I'll probably finish it up at some point, probably over the winter when it's like cold and I've got nothing to watch and I'm like, let's finish Acolyte.
They're just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I just think they're looking for the new thing because that Bad Batch didn't do crap either, but they keep releasing versions of that.
Yeah, I like Bad Batch. I think Bad Batch is good.
It seems like a lot to get.
Are you looking forward to the Terminator anime series?
Oh,
there's a Terminator anime?
He hasn't listened to our show.
Obviously,
all right, stop recording. Stop recording now. Chase hasn't listened to our show.
Which episode was this? I don't remember hearing about this.
Yeah, cut out those last 40 minutes. That's it.
I'll be honest. A lot of times I listen to the podcast while driving. So sometimes
you don't collect everything.
100% of it.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out that's anime version, but it's in Japan.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. And it comes out the end of August.
It's actually very good. It's very artistic and very anime versioned of the whole thing.
I think we just talked about that in the last episode too.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe
and
that's
it's definitely
why. And that just came out yesterday.
Okay,
but
so,
it is
I didn't finish the last one.
I'm just giving you crap.
So,
I'm just giving you crap.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, yeah,
No,
you're on the
man,
podcast,
right.
so we're gonna have to. Yeah, you got to earn your chops. So that's cool.
And the fact that Dave tolerates my bullshit this long, I'm surprised. So,
my gosh.
Chase, you're gonna have to.
No problem.
That's fine.
No problem at all. It's all good. So, okay, cool. And then we had some sports.
Yeah, the last
So
thing I
you
had
got
in
some
sports is, yes, all the training camps did finally open
I saw
this
that.
week. And I'm already annoyed because every article that I click on that's even in the sports genre, if it's on ESPN, it's we're projecting their rosters already. I'm like, they showed up to camp yesterday.
Yeah, how would you even know?
And like
Plus, there's
all
so many holdouts.
I just get so tired of like the ESPN analyst who just like go so over the top on every like, oh, we're gonna predict who their 52 man roster is or 53 man roster, and and I'm like, oh my god, training camp just started yesterday.
Yeah.
Give these guys a break already.
Yeah, let them earn their spots, for God's sake. They got to cut them down.
Stay
Right?
relevant.
Yeah,
that's true too. And they don't know what to talk about now.
It seems like they've just run out of things to talk about. So then,
well, they've got the holdouts. They've got everybody who's vying for a number one position. So I mean, you got all that, and they're just.
But a lot of the spots are already known on teams. Like
but you get that backup quarterback
like
or
third
an
and fourth
injury.
wide receivers.
Wait till the preseason starts and there's an injury.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, the Hall of Fame game is the Texans versus the Bears. On last week's episode, I mentioned that I would have to look that up because you said
do we have a
playing,
date?
and I was like, it's August 1st.
August 1st.
August 1st is Texans and the Bears in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio.
First one
after the the night after the Hall of Fame inductions.
Yep.
And everything. Who I don't know who is this year. I heard it at one point and it just went in one ear and out the other.
Who knows?
So. Anyways, hold on. Did I have? That's I think all I had.
Yeah. Cool. The Olympics start on Friday.
Olympics start on Friday.
Can I share a license plate real quick?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
You guys always do the license plate, and I always think about this.
Okay.
My all-time favorite license plate I have ever seen is LOIMVE. It's kind of a tough one. It's kind of a tough one.
What is it?
So it's LOIMVE.
I'm in love. It's
I'm in love.
Inside of love. LOVE.
Yes.
I am.
Oh, that's a good one. That's very creative.
That's a thinker.
That is the most,
and they fit it
into
the most
clever.
Yes. And they fit it into
most
6
clever
I
I've
get
ever
that one.
seen.
Yeah. Okay. That's very when they just flat out don't make
thinkable.
sense, that drives me crazy because they obviously only mean something
but you
to
would
that
have been
person.
driving behind
But
him
that
going,
one you-
Loam.
I'm thinking Star Wars stuff like Lom 4.
Is that a
the
planet?
Jedi? Yeah,
When I
the
figured it out,
bounty
I
hunter.
yelled it out loud. I had
Screaming it from the seats.
Got it.
Just rolling down the window. Yes.
I got your plate.
I get it.
I get
I'm
it.
in love.
And they're like, what the hell?
And they're like, who's this
I'm
crazy
changing my
person?
license plate. God
Yes,
damn, I
yes.
can't take this anymore.
That's a good one.
Too much damn traffic. Cool.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
was too
sweet.
good. I had to share.
That's a good one.
That's awesome.
No, that's
Awesome.
a good one. Keep
Great.
those coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I have a list of like 30 right now that I'll never get through all of them because it's just.
And I had
How
like
does your list keep getting longer? I don't.
Because we live in
Because he's
Virginia
constantly
and
on
we
the road
and I
every
drive.
time.
Yes, I
He's on the
drive
road all the
at
time.
least 2.5 hours a day,
Yeah.
4 days a week.
He's always on the road.
And yeah, and I'm
You
and it's
guys-
yeah.
You guys should spend some time in an episode and try and come up with the best license plate that you could think of.
there's a generator online that actually
license plate
has
generator.
a
Yes,
whole definition, a whole dictionary of terms.
right.
So yeah, perfect.
We'll have to
But
get
But
into
I had
that.
like 20 questions to ask you about Gen Z. I'll have to wait till the next time.
We'll do that on another episode.
Well, when we have Sid
Oh,
on too,
we'll
Sid
invite
and-
you back for another episode.
Yeah, we'll
Chase.
do a Chase and Sid.
I've had fun with this. This has
next
been
to it,
fun.
'cause I'd love to have a couple.
It was fun. I had a great
on
time.
that list. So that'd
Absolutely.
be good. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for
Okay.
coming.
All right, so
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got everything. Thanks for coming, Chase. Appreciate it. We'll definitely
appreciate it.
have
All
you
the way
back
to the
and-
end too. That's
all
great.
the way to the end of the episode.
Nice.
Right.
I know.
Cool.
Amazing.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I will see you next week, Dave.
You will see me
All right.
next week.
Okay. Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Pern and Dave, Let's Talk is brought to you by, well, Pern and Dave and Applebee's
For when you're too lazy to prepare your own frozen food.
and the good people at 1-800-Flowers.
The cheapest way to say you remembered your anniversary an hour ago.
Till next time.